Okay YouTube, so this is my review on my Mark 7 Golf GTI. We're going to do a full sort of walk around of it, what I like, what I don't like, how it compares up to my other cars. Is it staying? Wait until the end of the video and yeah, let me turn you around and we'll show you what we've got. So this is the performance pack. It's, I believe what it comes with is an extra 10 brake from standard, so it's about 230 brake. This is stage 1, so the previous owner sort of said around 300 brake. I don't know about that, but let me know in the comments what it will be on stage 1. It comes with bigger wheels and bigger brakes from standard. So that is about it from the front. Obviously it's got a splitter on there, but I have to get it changed because I took it out on the drive, as you can see. So yeah, that's getting changed. So I don't know if that's anything to do with the performance pack, but it's got like the headlights, they changed auto leveling and everything like that. Yeah, walking around, we've got some, it's very dirty. I either got it cleaned or done the video. I thought I'd do the video instead. It's got sequential indicators. That's obviously a mod. It's got the Team Echo wind deflectors. Coming to the back, yeah, pretty much is pretty standard. It does have a back box delete. It's still got the cat in it, and it's still got the sort of center res section there. So I'll give you a little sound clip now of what that sounds like. But yeah, it's got some rear spats in it. I think that's as far as mods to go really on the exterior. Again, there's nothing on the interior really as such. Parking sensors, obviously I haven't had that on a car before. That's actually a really nice touch. So to give you a bit of background, I've had Fiestas, Mark 7 Fiestas, Mark 6 Fiestas. I actually had an Astra VXR which was running about the same brake. I think the Astra VXR was about stage 2, stage 3. So it was a bit higher than this, but I do think this one's quicker. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump in the car, I'm going to go for a drive, and I'll show you some of the things I like and I don't like about the car. Right, so we're in the car. We'll get going, we'll get on the road, and I'll start with 5 things I don't like about this car. Number 1, I'm not really going to say in sort of priority or anything like that, they're all the same. Number 1 would be probably the fuel. Now, still I get very good fuel consumption in this, but coming from the Fiesta, a little 1.6, it's not as good, and I would like it to be better, but you can't have everything. So I'm averaging about 30 to 35 mpg on like a long run down to London. I go to London most weeks. I'll probably do 35 to 40 mpg just on the motorway, so that is still very good. I'm just not getting that much better from the Fiesta. So on average I'll fill up a tank 60 to 70 pound, I think. I haven't filled up from when it's completely empty, but yeah, it did cost me about £67, and that was quite empty. So that got me between 350 to 400 miles. I do 90% of the time drive in eco mode, which is again one thing I do like about this car, but I'll get onto that after. The second thing I don't like about this car as much is everything costs so much more. Now I get it, it's a bigger car, it's a Golf, everything like that, but in terms of like mods, yeah, it's looking quite expensive as opposed to the Fiesta. Oh, we got a load of cyclists here. So as opposed to the Fiesta, it's quite a bit more. I'll be honest, I'm really struggling with thinking of some more. I was just going to do it on the spot because I didn't think I thought there was more I didn't like about this car, but it turns out there's not really. So you know what, if I was to give somebody an honest review on this car, I'd have to say, look, if you're going to date it, it's going to cost you more, but it's not going to cost you that much more. I believe I'll spend an extra 50 to 100 pound a month on fuel, so it's really not that much different. But yeah, I'm going to go on to things I like about this car, because obviously, oh hold on, no, there's one thing I don't like about this car as much. Now, I haven't experienced a lot of heavier hatchback sort of thing, and there have always been small Fiestas, and it was the same thing with the Astra, the handling. Now, I have to wait until I've got some decent tyres. I am running Bridgestone Pretenders, I believe, on the front. But if it's cold and wet, the Fiesta, I could still do something with. This, there's no chance. It's, again, it's a lot of power, it's stage 1 or something, so it does spin up anyway. But the handling itself, I'm finding myself oversteering it, sliding out a lot. Like, it's fine to correct and everything like that, but yeah, I've got no confidence in this car in the wet. So it could be the tyres, it could be my suspension setup. It's on 35 IBAC springs, so 35mm that is. So who knows, but I just feel like I've had better in the wet. It's dry today, so we're going to see how it holds up in the dry. But that is probably the third thing I don't like about this car, is the overall handling in the cold and wet winter months, which is about 10 months out of the 12 months a year in England. So moving on to 5 things I do like about this car. I could probably come up with more, I'll be honest. Starting off with the actual car itself. All round, I remember when I got in this, I've got full leather seats, they're all heated and everything. And this, you've got this centre section here, which I love. Like, when cars don't have it, you kind of sat here, you know, you can't really get comfortable. But with this, I can sit back, you know, when I'm driving in my eco granddad mode. It's just so nice to drive. Yeah, so I do really find that about the car, is that if you want still a fast hatchback, but you want to be able to just chill in it, like, it's got like semi bucket seat sort of thing. It holds you still. It feels sporty, but at the same time, it's very nice car to drive daily. The second thing I do like about it is the amount of parts you can get. Now, I've been looking at mods. Now, apart from the rear diffuser, which I'm struggling with, there's so much of everything. So the amount of mods you can get on this car, now there's so much, and you know I like a bargain, so there's so much I can get on Facebook Marketplace, and that's something I do really like about this car. The third thing, I believe, is just all the extras you get on this. I think I've got everything apart from sat-nav, which is a bit annoying, but at the same time, I had sat-nav on the Fiesta. I just use Google Maps. It's a lot simpler, it's a lot quicker. I just use Google Maps. So it hasn't got sat-nav, but it does have everything else, like heated seats, climate control, a lot more than the Fiesta. It is a manual, so keeping that raw feeling. Rewind. The fourth thing I don't like about this car is the gearbox. Why is it... I actually... It does annoy me sometimes when I'm driving. I've driven other people's cars and everything, and they say, you know, like the Abarth. The Abarth was not a nice gearbox. You can push it into place, and it just never felt like it was in gear. You could shift it pretty quick, but at the same time, like, it was, the whole gear system felt like mush. Now with the Fiesta, it's very magnetic. If you've ever driven one, you can just put it. Oh, there's a road Kaiser. So you can just put it next to the gear, and it will almost, it's almost like a magnet. It pulls it into gear. That's something I really liked about the Fiesta. The Fiesta, you could shift as quick as you wanted into any gear. There was never any confusion about, you know, maybe you do a second to first. There was none of that. I've never done that either. Moving on. Yeah, I tried to shift this quickly, and it just doesn't go into gear. I end up just ringing the gears. So that is something I don't like about this car. There's almost like a gate that you've got to push it through for it to get into gear, and that's just not really nice when I'm doing some spirited driving on a private road. So that is something I don't like. That's 4 things actually, so we've got a decent amount there. Anyway, coming on to the next thing I like is just all the features. I believe I spoke about the features. Yeah, it's hard really to think of any more, because like all round it's a really good car. There's just a few niggly bits that I would like from previous cars that I've had, but yeah, no, I really enjoyed this. So, and it's been really good so far. There's literally, I had it up on the ramp yesterday, and there was literally nothing underneath it. It was absolutely clean. So yeah, really happy with that. It's always a bit of a, because nobody likes buying private cars, right? That I know nobody likes buying private cars, and that's all I do. I'll buy categorized cars, private cars, whatever, cars with no paperwork. I think I bought a car with no logbook before, but obviously that was sorted out. Outstanding finance, I've bought those cars. But I believe I've just been lucky with these cars. I've made a bit of money on the cars as well. I lost a bit of money on the cars. That's how it goes. Hopefully I won't lose too much on this car. I've done my market research and everything, so I know I grabbed it at a good price. Yeah, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to drive to a private road, and then we'll do some sort of, you know, we'll just see how it competes against other cars I've had, how fast it is, how it feels, and I'll talk to you a bit more about the map and about the power delivery, which is a bit strange, but hopefully somebody can help me out. So we'll go there now. Right, so we're pulling up to a road now. I'm going to do a little second gear pull. If this lorry's not in front of me, which I think it is, I think we're just going to go for it. Try to shift it that hard. But you see what I mean? As soon as it hits the the gate in the gearbox, I think this Range Rover wants to race. As soon as it hits that gate in the gearbox, it just won't go past that, so you can't shift it that quick. If anybody's got a we should race that SVR. If anybody's got a don't know, a fix for this, let me know. This is like the third time it's happened. It's quick. I do enjoy it. The power delivery is very sudden. It's almost like nothing. As soon as I hit 3k, full boost, and it does hold it throughout the revs, which is it is good. It is probably one of the quickest cars I've had. But yeah, let me just pull over here. Just how it handles up. Look at that though. That is. So, let me turn it off. So, you just stick it back on like that, and then it's on like that. But even the actual gear knob itself, I've always found this with the Golfs, they have so much play in them. They have like, it's weird. It's nothing to do with the actual gearbox itself, it's the gear shifter. But anyway, let's get back out on the road. Try and load up some space here. I'm going to do a third gear pull from about 50 and see how we see how it goes. That was a third to fourth gear pull. I think we got up to a whopping 20 miles an hour, so it's good. It is very good. Just obviously when I'm doing this, I'm averaging about 5 mpg, so it's not actually that bad. It's probably more like 10, but no, it is good. And then you can sort of put it into eco mode, and then it just feels a lot lighter. It doesn't feel as, you know, as sensitive almost. The steering lightens up when you put it into eco. In sport, it's very heavy. It's very direct. So that is something I do like about it. But yeah, this gearbox, the whole thing down here, which, you know what, if you want to eradicate it, you just buy an auto. But can you get an automatic GTI Mark 7 for less than 10 grand with less than 100,000 miles? I don't think so. So a bit more about the car. I ended up trading my Fiesta in just because it was too high a mileage. I didn't want to lose too much money on the car. I spent so much on it in the previous months, and I just wanted something a bit more bigger, sort of a bit more grown up, as you would. So originally I was meant to be getting a Toyota GT86, which doesn't really sound like it's a more grown up car, but it was more for content to do things like this. I ended up pricing everything up on it, and it was just too expensive for what the car was. I needed to daily it. I needed to do, you know, on average 2,500 to 3,000 miles a month, and it probably just wasn't going to work out for me. So I saw this, I was a bit skeptical of it, didn't have many images. It's a Cat N, which means non-structural, so, you know, I just thought I'll message them anyway and see. I think I messaged them on the Sunday. I said I'll come have a look at it on the Wednesday. I was down in Milton Keynes. So yes, so the bodywork damage was, I believe, the driver's side. I'll throw up an image here, but it was just cosmetic damage from sort of the front bumper to the rear bumper. So I looked at it, had the images. The guy seemed very trustworthy. He had all the paperwork, cam belt, water pump done, and it's on 80,000 miles as well. So it was a Cat N, 80,000 miles. The previous paintwork, I can tell it's there because obviously I worked in a body shop. I kind of know what I'm looking for, but it's really not that bad. So, you know, he bought it back off the insurance company and done everything to it that he needed to do it, and then he sold it. So I've got a deal out of it. He got the money he wanted for it, so it's a win-win really. So with a full service history, which is It's not main dealer or anything like that. It is private. He's done it himself. So take that what you will. I do it all myself. So full service history, 80,000 miles. It's a Mark 7 GTI performance pack. I got it for £9,000. It was up for £9,500. Now, I couldn't find a GTI Golf R, GTD, anything like that under 10 grand that wasn't 150,000 miles plus, or something like a Cat S where it's structural damage. So it's something you're taking a bit more of a gamble on. So yeah, I bought it. That's it with the car. I'm currently really enjoying it. Hope you are too. The mods and everything, I know the spoilers come off. That's because we're going elsewhere to get that done. We'll show you in a future video. But yeah, what I do need is some inspiration. So I need some Golf owners, I need some VW owners. I need you to help me out. You know, I need to join the groups. I need to become a bit of the VAG gang. So, but yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. This is my honest review on this car. I do really enjoy it. It's really good, and I can't see me getting rid of it in the coming months. So I should be keeping it, but for now, don't know who that was. But for now, that's it. I'm signing out. This is a wrap. This is my Mark 7 Golf GTI, and you'll see a lot more of it. So we'll see you on the next one.